Good evening. My name is Roz McAllister. I'm a family advocate. Welcome to the show. We're here to help. Vinny?
Hi there, everybody. I'm Vinny. I'm a advocate for myself, actually. I'm dealing with a CPS case and a criminal case on top. So I want to welcome you all to the show. Um, we're all here to help you and help you understand what's going on and help you face the fears that are coming towards you. We are CPS Victims Hunting for Justice.
I have been advocating for over 25 years now. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, and I am the head advocate of American Family Rights, which is a Facebook group that also assists families involved with children's services. Um, since Vinny and I are kind of on our own tonight for at least a little while,
Yeah,
maybe
a little bit.
let me breach um, a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and that is changing the system. There's everybody complains about Title IV. There's really not much wrong with Title IV. It's how the states implement it where the problem lies.
Hey, Carrie.
Um, so you have to change what's going on in your state, okay? And how you do that is not screaming and yelling at your state reps or your state senators. How you do that is get involved and get to know people. It's election time. Who's running?
Right.
You. Um, do you elect your judges in your district, in your state?
I,
If
I don't
so,
think I don't think I've ever seen that. And I'll have to look because I've never seen it on a ballot.
okay, you may be in a state that appoints. In which case, you got to worry about the governor who appoints them.
Yeah, I don't like her.
Here we elect, and I talked to the candidates for juvenile court. Um, I talked to those. Uh, I talked to those who are running for office, both in my immediate area and in adjoining areas where I can get to them if I need them. Why do I say do this? Get involved with your party and know your candidates, because then when you have a problem, whether it's CPS or something else, it's not a, okay, who are you? They know who you are because you were there knocking doors for them. You were there on their phone bank. You were there at their rallies. You were sitting their table at the county fair for your party.
That
Get,
makes sense.
get
That makes absolute sense.
uh-huh, because that way they know who you are.
I
Assist in
mean,
getting the vote. On election day, a lot of times candidates will have people outside the polling booths handing out their literature.
but
Volunteer.
you look at it from the other standpoint too. It's like it's not just a Title 4E. It's them not following their policies and their procedures that are written in their own book. And
Mm-hmm.
they need to abide by what their policy says.
And you can force that issue in the
And,
courts.
and it needs to be. I mean, I've seen it in several cases that I've been hearing. Like my friend Crystal, she's about to lose full rights to her kids, and she's the one that found the Arcadia thing that they're doing. The thing they're doing at not Arcadia. The program that they're using up here for AI. She's the one that told us about it because she got an oopsie file that had it on it.
An oopsie file? What kind of oopsie file?
A file that her
she's not sure if she was supposed to actually get it.
Yeah.
Did she ask for discovery?
Oh yeah.
Then she was supposed to get it. Okay? When you get discovery, you want everything. As I like to put it, when you ask for discovery, you want the Kleenex that she blew her nose on while she was typing into your file in the computer. Okay? You want everything.
See, I,
And
I don't
the
have to worry about that now because today I was trying to tell them today was a really good day.
oh, was it? Tell us what happened.
Well, I had my Zoom meeting with my attorney in the criminal case today,
Hmm.
and he said to me, he goes, "So here's what we got going on." He's like, I'm not gonna do the poly test because it does say it's admissible in court." So he's like, "We're not even gonna go there." He's like, "I got a couple lines on a professional to see the CAC video." Um, and he goes, "I do got to tell you that they are issuing another search and seizure warrant on your Facebook." And I'm like, "Okay, why?" He goes, "I don't know why either because the first one showed nothing. This one's gonna show nothing." So he said to me, he goes, "Ben, I'm gonna tell you straight how it is. I see what you're saying. They're violating your rights. They're violating the Constitution, and they're doing it discreetly." So he caught on to what I've been showing him. And he goes, "If they even try to file another motion, I'm going to hold them in contempt of court."
I have one for you, Vinny. Your attorney needs to return the favor. Go after her Facebook.
Yep. But
Okay? I know we're talking about a minor, okay? But this is a very devious person.
oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
she has to learn her lesson or she's going to be a menace to society.
And then I said to him, I go, what about this report, this police report with Miss Jessica? And he's like, "Well, I'm going to tell you right now." He goes, I'm seeing what you've been telling me." He goes, so I asked him, I said, "You see the witness tampering?" He goes, "I absolutely do see it." He said, "And I also see the coercion and the name being injected into a conversation where it shouldn't have been."
Mm-hmm.
So he is catching on, and he did catch on to the fact that they were talking to her outside of that room.
Yep. Yep. You
So
don't know what was said. You don't know what was said in there.
right. And I told him, I said, I could match my file to my juvenile record that they got right now. And I guarantee you it's a direct T match. And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I have my juvenile file."
Did he ask for it?
He did. He said, "Can you prove it?" I said, "I can have it scanned in tomorrow for you, tomorrow or over the weekend, and get it into you." Because, I start work on Saturday. So
Yay!
I'm
I'm
a,
ready
I'm
for
a,
you.
I'm a true citizen again.
A tax-paying citizen, huh?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So that is one strategy. I am racking my brain trying to remember the name of the professional that I've heard. He works basically in false accusation in private custody, but he has done others as well with children's services.
It's just immaculate how like the turnaround came. Like I think he must have been doing some reading or something because when he said he's already seen my motion that I filed.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You kind of blow my mind a little bit because you're actually doing my job."
Hmm. And when you do that, that throws them for a loop when you can do their job. And legal writing is not that difficult.
No, it really isn't. I mean, you just got to know their wording, know their coding, know their statutes.
Yeah. right.
and know your constitutional rights, because you can put them in there.
Yeah, you can. You have to be careful doing that because some people go a
You,
little
you,
crazy
you,
with it.
no, you gotta limit it.
Yeah,
Like
right.
1 or 2 of your amendments is good, or 3, but if you go above that, don't even bother. I mean, they're
Oh,
not.
there are people who start with stuff that is absolutely ridiculous
Nope.
and try to tie it to constitutional rights, which aren't. Okay,
I did
stretch
the
too far.
I did the 4th Amendment, the
Yeah.
14th Amendment, and violation of due process of law.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
By doing that, it tells them, okay, he knows his constitutional rights.
And if you haven't yet, if they haven't yet denied your due process, they know not to.
Gary, I'm trying to see what you put up in there, but it's so small that I can't even read it. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. What she says is it's about keeping it simple and to the point. No rambling. Stick to the facts. Keep emotion out of the motion.
Exactly, Carrie. Exactly. That is exactly correct. And that's what I did. Like, there was no emotion. It was straight up facts in this
Mm-hmm.
document that I redid and resent. And I tell you what, when he looked at that and he saw how I had that motion all typed, and I think it just blew his mind.
Right. Right. They they don't like when you know their job. And like I always say, lawyers are taught to think in the box.
Yeah.
Now,
But now he's thinking outside the box.
oh yeah, but I got one better. I don't recognize the existence of the box. Okay, I just don't.
Well, with the amount of experience that you have and everything else and what you do, I mean, obviously you know what you're doing.
Well, I try. um,
Hey, that's all we all can do is try.
yeah,
We're only human. We only have our human natures.
right, right, and there's other things too that you can just watch out for. Like you said, they're looking at your Facebook.
Yep. They,
Because you
they
have it
watch.
on private, they have.
I can tell you everything they watch right now. They watch Facebook. They watch Snapchat. Chat. They watch the TikToks. They watch the YouTubers. They're watching all social media outlet right now.
Yeah, yeah. So we have to be careful even on here because our caseworkers and judges and prosecutors can all see it.
But see,
Oh,
here's the difference when it comes to that. I'm not afraid.
yeah.
They've already taken my soul and ripped it out, and I'm trying to piece it back together slowly and get to the point where I can say, okay, game on. I'm here with you.
Hmm.
And
But
that's what you got to do with them. You can't let them break who you are.
if you go and you look at people who you know have CPS issues, and you go and you look at their Facebooks. By the way, Lynn, your Facebooks are very, very perfect.
She's
Yeah.
she's upstairs. She just
Is she? Well, she just puts her visits with the kids. She doesn't have anything. Um.
no, but mine's a little bit different. Mine's well, mine's mine.
Yeah, but I see hers with her little one, and it's just visits and how we had fun. And Carrie, always into learning new strategies and methods. That's why we got some of them that we're using now. Is there new methods that haven't been used before?
Your Facebook is
Um,
perfect.
I just haven't had a chance to come up with anything new lately. So we're using the old ones that have worked, and attorneys still say they don't work. You
Yeah,
can't do it.
well,
We do it anyhow. Like
Hey,
here's you, Vinny.
yeah,
Whatever experts they use, they have to pay for your experts of the same caliber.
yeah, he did say that. He said that they are paid. So, I'm trying to get the lady that I have that I know through my clergy and my marriage counselor. Um, I'm trying to get it so that way she gets the number for my attorney to this girl that professionalizes in this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She studies that. She's a doctor and everything else, and she's like really top of her game in this field. And I happen to know her because, well, I went to school with her. Um, so I'm trying to get her on this case and let her see everything and read everything and know, okay, this is what's this, and see her perspective because I the way he's talking lately, um, he he sees everything and he's just like, I think he's getting to that point where he goes, this is going too far
Mm-hmm.
because he told me today, he said, if they offer you a deal, we're not taking no deals.
Perfect. Perfect. I tell young men all the time, lose the word plea out of your vocabulary. I don't care what it is.
Nope.
But between
He
domestic
said,
violence and sexual sexual type things, don't plea. I've seen it go wrong too many times.
yep.
I had one gentleman who couldn't understand. His mom was good. He pled guilty to a lesser charge. His mom hid all of his equipment for his business. So when he came out, it wasn't repoed. When he came out, he still had it.
That's crazy.
Um, and he could not understand why his probation officer would not let him pick back up on his landscaping business. She just absolutely refused to let him. And she said it's because of what you're convicted of. Here he had pled to something we call in Ohio importuning. He had no idea what that meant.
Yeah, kind of like me when I was kind of like me when I was a kid. That explains that because I didn't even know what a NOLO plea was back then.
Um, that is just ridiculous if they don't explain it. But what importuning is, basically it meant that he was pimping out his daughter. He never did anything to his daughter.
That's crazy.
He came home from work, being a single dad, took his shirt off, plopped down in his favorite chair, and she started to rub his shoulders. And he told her no, it wasn't appropriate. She got all bent out of shape and told her grandma that he touched her.
Oh, Darren, I definitely am. I'm with you on that, brother. Because I tell you what, I see that down the pike really, really soon. And we are filing the dismissal in the other case.
Yeah.
Because they are officially at almost 9 months now. That is way past their date. It's over 120 days now.
And you just quote their own policy and procedures manual.
I have them written down. I
So,
wrote them down and copied them so I'd know exactly which ones they violated.
yep. Yep. And you make sure that they all go in your dismissal. And if you want to really be a smart aleck, you put them as exhibits. You put copies of their pages.
Yeah, oh, I have them. I have them.
Yeah, and highlight the section that they violated.
I have them. I have a digital copy of it too.
Use them as exhibits. See exhibit so and so.
And this whole case, like even with CPS, when they first started to try to email me and add me to stuff, I was sitting there, click, click. I'd scroll up, have the time date in there, click. I
Mm-hmm.
was taking screenshots every time they emailed, every time I emailed back, just so I have proof of me showing them what my constitutional rights were.
Mm-hmm. And then they have to, they can't say they didn't know.
What happened?
They should have gone to their attorney to find out if they didn't know.
What happened to the accuser? Oh, she's getting to do whatever she wants. And I just found out recently that she's hanging out with her older brother who is doing blow.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
And they're allowing that.
Not cool at all. You're going to end up with another drug addict in the family.
And he admitted that he was doing it at the age of 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right out to the public on TikTok.
But Vinny, yeah, see if you can subpoena all of the accusers' accounts.
Oh, I'm sure we can. I can talk to him about that tomorrow.
Yeah, because she might have something on there.
Huh? She was saying how they check her phones and whatnot. I don't think so, because if they checked their phones, they would see all the stuff that she does.
And she's not completely.
Hey, Ashley.
She doesn't know how to work. Right.
Ashley, is your case open or closed? Because it's different when
Yeah.
it's open or closed.
If it's open, you have to subpoena them, and then you have to also subpoena the court to get you the other file.
Well, subpoenas are served through the court.
Oh yeah, they definitely carry. They do know it through our phones.
Closed. It's going to be difficult to get those files. However, if you go to the courthouse and you pull the files from the appeal, you might find some in there, because I know when I was working on a special project years ago for Shepherds, which is one of the Westlaw, when we pulled appellate court files, everything that the appellate court looked at, and they should have had the CPS files in there. If you can get your hands on that appellate court file, you may find stuff in there. Otherwise, it's very difficult. I can also tell you that my grandson, we needed some information for him to take custody of his younger sister. We did not know if my son had totally lost custody of the kids or not. My grandson walked in and got his file. He was over 18. He walked in and got his file. Roz, what are your opinion if your rights are terminated and immediately after termination appeal affirmed, the fosters who were going to adopt your kids decide that they no longer want to adopt? Carrie, have you applied to adopt your kids back? Work.
Honestly, that's already in the process. Me and him have already had that talk.
But you can. I have heard of kids, of parents going back and getting their um, getting their kids back via um, adopting their own kids. Ashley, I have been filing freedom of information. Now, they're not going to give it to you under FOIA.
No, they're not.
No. You see, that case, everything, here we go again. I say this all the time. Every law, regulation, policy, procedure, all are for the same thing. Somebody got stupid.
And they all tie into the Constitution. Whether you believe it or not, they do.
But we also have to watch out for the kids who are truly abused. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
So if they protect those, you guys are going a little faster than I can read. Let me get one thing done before you get to the next, okay? Please. If, because I lose my train of thought. I got gray hair for a reason, guys. I'm old. Okay? This far from Biden, all right? So, anyhow, they don't let those files open because parents have retaliated after the fact. Okay? They got the file, they saw what their kids said, true or not, and they've hunted their kids down.
See, I'm not about that.
I know, Vinny, but that's why they are the way they are. That's wrong, just there's a reason.
I'm one of them ones that are like, you know what, karma will come back around. But I also have them 18 USC 241 and 242s out there, violation under color of law, and I have them on quite a few people. I also have a slander order on another two people, and those are usable towards a lawsuit.
Yeah. Now, Carrie, to your question, you do not have to have a license to adopt. That's a foster. Yeah, if you're going to foster, yes, but to adopt, you do not need a license.
If they saw a doctor,
your caseworker never saw you and your child together, or did a family assessment or a bonding assessment, that I would have brought up right away. They should have done those things, or they could have left it to the GAL, okay, and just turned in a file on it.
So I did.
I really would have, Ashley, and I know it's late, but maybe you can help somebody else with this information. I would have subpoenaed the visitation people to come to court, or
Yep.
Or if they had recordings.
Right on, Ashley. File both of them. Violation of due process.
Your attorney.
Violation of due process and violation of Section 18 USC 241 and 242, and they do it.
What do you mean all caps names? Don't go with that crap, Ashley. If you pull that in court, you are a crackpot and you have lost from day one.
Nope, you don't want it in caps. You want to use if you're trying to write it out, I'm gonna tell you, Ash, they do make programs that are free that you can use, and it will help you write out your document the way it's supposed to be. You know, you have to have spacing, you have to have the correct spacing, or they're not gonna look at it.
Right, but this thing about if his name is in all caps, then you're a corporation. Everybody I know who went with that, and whether or not there's a fringe on the flag, and whether or not the oath was done right, and all that, not a one of them have won. None of them. Stay away from the sovereign citizen stuff, because you'll lose every time.
Yeah, you have to fight per constitutional rights and their statutes and their codes. You have to go by that because that's what they follow. statutes, code, and law.
Okay? No, but I'm just saying that because some people try to talk people into it, and you might as well go to the tattoo parlor and do this. Just get a big old L on your forehead because you have lost. Ashley, you can sue an attorney. I don't know what the time frame would be for malpractice, just like you can a doctor. Okay?
I agree, Carrie.
What? I never bring up anything like that in court. I'm not a total. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it sounds like you're not. Or reads like you're not. But anytime I get close to that, Ashley, it's like a trigger. I'm sorry. I got to bring it out every time because
Punisher, if Ashley wants to join us, can we get her up here to maybe hear a little bit of her story? I know you're in the box. Is there a way to get her set up so we can?
Yeah, Darren has no power.
Yeah, so Darren lost power.
Little stuff is all he can do. I've been doing this longer than they have all these programs that help you. So sorry, I don't know anything about them. I've never used them. I type on my own. The other thing, Ashley, if your attorney did not do anything, have you turned him in for against his bar license? Whatever it is.
You can write your attorney up to the bar.
Yeah, now in this state, you can do it the state of Ohio. I currently have.
No, you can do it in Maine too, so I'm pretty sure it's statewide.
Well, you can do it either with the bar or with the Supreme Court here. I go straight to the Supreme Court Disciplinary Council. Currently, my household has in a complaint on a lawyer, 2 complaints on a magistrate. We're going to be having 2 on a judge.
That's what I said. That's what I said to her. I said, I need Darren to bring her up.
He can't even bring Herbert in, he said.
Yeah.
Username?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, and here I have been working all these years trying to get people to do formal complaints on their attorneys. And people, I don't know if they're tired or they got their kids back so it doesn't matter anymore or what. But she might be in a different department, but did they do anything about her license? And you have to be careful how you write those up too. You can't ask for anything that they are not able to do at the bar or at the Supreme Court.
All right, Darren.
If you want to really tick off an attorney and let them know what you're doing, I've been trying to get somebody to try this for years. Here you go, Carrie, something new. Call your attorney's office and ask them for the name and the policy number of their malpractice insurance.
That's smart. That is smart.
You want to see them freak out? So
Darren can't bring in Herbert.
And he's running on such little power. But hey, we'll get this going this way for right now. Does matter, Ashley, if you don't represent you properly? Yes. Every state, when they get their bar, they take an oath that they will give either zealous or vigorous representation. If they don't do that, that's what you report them on.
Yeah.
They didn't give me vigorous representation. They didn't communicate with me. I have an article.
I got 4 of them. I'm gonna, and I know the timeline, and I still got plenty enough time. I'm just biding my time right now. I'm riding through the storm and just riding along.
I actually have a friend, Carrie, who did not carry insurance, and that was one of the things that they got him for when he was disbarred. He had had a mental breakdown, is why he had. Um, and I hate to say it, I referred him the client who threw him over the edge. But um, he's not going to even try to get his it back. But they, one of the questions they asked me during their little trial um, is, did I know he had insurance? He didn't have insurance, and did it
Uh,
matter to me? And
uh,
I said, you don't get to use it anyhow. What's the difference?
Thanks,
And
Darren.
that's what I do.
Okay, so I guess Ashley's going to join us up here.
Oh, good.
Um,
They're going to find a way to do it, huh?
well,
Um,
yeah.
State the lawyer who represents you in district has to file the initial appeal. And it's funny how at appeal, they all of a sudden know their job. That would be nice, Carrie, if they knew their job. I am so sick of seeing one error when the cases are just full of errors. And all they do is ineffective counsel is all they, or against mandate weight of evidence.
And
Uh, I don't like mandate weight of evidence because it's too broad. I would rather see them itemize.
it gives them more interpretation of the law,
Yeah, well,
basically. And I've been talking to quite a few people that are dealing with a lot of CPS cases and whatnot. And I've even talked to one of my friends that are out in Ohio. Um, and she told me, she's like, I don't understand any of this. I'm trying to protect my family and protect myself from this guy that just like abused me. Um,
every time,
and I'm hearing her story and I'm listening and I'm going, wow. She goes, they've arrested me, that they've done everything to her. And it kind of hit home with me when she was telling me, and I'm like, so I started telling her a little bit about my story, and she goes, she goes, you've gone pretty much through the entire thing, and you haven't seen your kids either. And I said, no. And the two kids that are in question, there is no order, and my criminal attorney told me that there's no order stating I cannot have contact with them.
yeah, that's ridiculous, especially since it'll be supervised. What is this? My friend's lawyer made her appeal sound awesome and made good points, even brought up things she never objected on. See, you can't bring up what you don't object to in trial. None of that counts.
You gotta object.
Okay? They threw all of that stuff out, and then she was affirmed. That's why you never take your evidence in your hand unless it is less than a week old. Okay? Because the judge can say, I don't want to see it. Now it's not in the record. You make a motion, even if you're not going to be able to hear it this week's court. You put it in a motion, you put it as an exhibit, you put it in a brief as an exhibit, so it's on the record.
And you have it documented and notarized.
You can. It's not necessary in most states.
I do it because it has the state seal on it, so that makes it a binding document. And then when you either drop it off or you mail it to them, you have them sign for it. Because then you got proof of
Later,
service.
no, it doesn't. And remember, one of my names is Queen of Snark. So if they're going to predict the future, I would like to see the maintenance records on their crystal ball, please. And don't think I wouldn't subpoena it. I know I'm Queen of Snark, but
I know. I mean, that's
you
a
got a police worker coming to your house looking for stuff, ask her for a fishing license. You're gonna go fishing in my house, you have to have a state approved license.
that's a good one. I'm with you on that one, Roz. Yep,
Okay?
I agree.
Um, I agree. They can't predict anything, not even in their own lives. I am with you. Yes, we don't know what the future holds. Okay, and if you want to get biblical, I can go put my collar on. We're not supposed to try to predict the future.
No, that's not our job. We're just supposed to live in it.
Right. There's no. You can't predict the future, and they can't either.
Right, Carrie.
Yeah, where's your fishing pole? Yeah, where's your fishing pole and your tackle? I think that's a good one too. Yeah, because you ain't fishing in my house.
I don't see it Ashley here yet. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ashley said she was driving, and it'll be a few minutes. So.
okay. So let's talk about this, okay, for a minute. So I get through everything with him, and he says to me, he goes, "There's more to this case than meets the eye." He says, I'm seeing everything that you've been pointing out to me. He goes, I see what you've been saying in your emails. He goes, now I'm starting to get the references of what you're pointing at here. And he goes, how are you able to pick apart this case? I said, because I can pick apart my case from when I was a kid.
Well, not only that, Vinny, but like I said, and feel free to tell him, you're taught to think in a box.
Yep.
This and this and this and this. I don't have that restriction.
Well, I don't either, because, I'm kind of like...
That's what you say to attorney. I, Vinny, don't have that restriction. I can talk to think in a box.
And it's funny, too, because, even my own counselor, she's previous to this case. She's been with me for a long time. And she told me today, she goes, it's kind of interesting because you have come a long ways.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it.
And she goes, I think in the next couple of weeks, you'll be down to like every other week for counseling. We can do that because you're at that point now where you're just like, I've gotten myself to that level playing field where I'm ready to get my kids and prove to these people that they're wrong.
Yeah, Terry's right. Let your attorney know that he's awesome because he's actually listening and learning.
And he is. And
taking the time to do it, which most don't do.
For the longest time, I held a little bit of anger towards him because he wasn't listening. Mm-hmm. And, I was a little disgruntled with him. And a couple of times he's like, all right, I'm just going to, I'm going to sign my paper and I'll be off this case. And I was like, no, I don't want you off this case because I actually did my digging and I talked to quite a few people about him. So I know what kind of attorney he is. And he doesn't mess around.
Right. He's also following a script that you don't want him to follow.
Right. So I got him now on that straight and narrow to where he's like getting everything in line. And he looks at me and says, this hearing on the 20th is all about them making you an offer. He said, there is no offer. There is none of that. We are going to take this to as fast as we can to get it done and over with.
Right, right. And they're counting on the fact you want it done and over with, so you'll take a plea. Um, I don't know how much lower they could plead you because they've got a gross sexual imposition.
They, they have a lot more than that, but there, there's no way that I'm gonna take a plea when we have physical proof of this entire case being not only fraud upon the court, violation of due process, violation of the Fourth Amendment, violation of the 14th Amendment, and they've done it throughout the whole process.
Right,
All of them, even the police officer that's involved, and then them involved in the news channel. The DA's office themselves gave that information to this person to give it to the news.
did they identify you on the news?
Oh, yes. And tells them exactly where I live and everything.
And they alleged.
I have the screenshots of it all on the news channel. I screenshotted everything,
Good.
and that's my exhibits.
Yep, there you go. That's your exhibits. Exactly. Um,
Welcome back, Darren.
Carrie, a lot of times they don't want to learn anything new. They know what they're saying, and that's that. And that's where, if anyone has ever read my Managing Your Attorney, the open line comes in. Attorneys and plumbers have the same job.
I'm just kind of hanging in the best I can. I'm just trying to get it so Herbert can come in.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I feel you, brother, man.
I'm still running
It's all right.
this Wi-Fi stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, yeah, I agree, Carrie. Yep.
When this gets to a point, I wouldn't do it yet.
Nope, that's that. You got to play their game.
But make sure that when it's dismissed, it gets the same coverage.
Right. It's
media with
I want it so when it gets dismissed, they cannot reopen at all.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then I want to be able to say, now, for all the trauma you've put me through, all the stress that you've caused me, because my counselor diagnosed me with anxiety and PTSD due to CPS.
Now that goes to suing.
And that is on my record. It states it right on my record.
Good. Now, and like I said, once this is over, make sure you get the same press coverage. And you tell the news media, either you do it or I'll see you in court.
Yeah, they don't like to be sued.
No, they don't. So either you give me the same coverage or else. That's it.
So think about that, everyone. That if you gave up fighting, then your kids weren't meant to be with you. Honestly,
you weren't meant to be a good parent. I mean, that's it.
And them kids didn't deserve you, because if you can't fight, no, the kids didn't deserve you at all.
Right.
If you can't fight for your kids and show them that unconstitutional love, then you might as well say you're slapping yourself with what was created under the heavens and the earth.
Right. Now that's where I get my thing. You've got to love your kids more than you hate your caseworker. Your caseworker will make you give up every time. They will turn younger parents, especially, they will turn them into what they accuse them of. They just hound them until they give in. And it's sad. It really is.
And they get them to see all these shrinks and put them on all these medicines. You know why they're doing that? It's because they're trying to brainwash them.
What, the kids? Oh, yeah.
I did find that in a report on someone else's, and I was like, huh. They actually accused him, and it was actually proven that they do.
I'm working with a young lady right now who they're trying to get a Munchausen's by proxy. She's got letters from the doctor saying, "Hey, the kids really have this."
Well, I mean, as long as she's got them orders, then she should.
Right. The thing is, her husband, soon to be ex after this mess, brought her kids here to Ohio. Just too far for me to just go run and do something, but he's actually trying to get them on Ohio's Medicaid.
Oh, wow.
And they are on her state's Medicaid. So, what she's doing is she's contacting Ohio and saying,
yep.
They are not residents of Ohio. They are residents of here. They have this medical. That is why we are here to get, yep.
I think he has to approve you, Herbert. I know he's trying back there. He's trying to work the best way he can.
Yeah.
Bear with him, Herbert. He'll get you.
I think he needs to take a trip over to Tractor Supply and buy a generator.
I mean, the way our electric company works in Maine, they're slow.
Yeah, I still record.
You could have a nice big thunderstorm roll through here and take out trees all over the place, and yeah, you wouldn't have your power back for a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
From Texas, they're still waiting.
Oh yeah.
The hurricane. Yeah, so many, getting to the parents as soon as you can is the key.
Yep.
I've got them drop it to 72-hour hearing if they get a hold of me before the 72-hour hearing.
But I think I gotta kick me out of here.
But usually the parents don't panic until after that.
I heard Darren. Sounded like Darren.
Yeah. Either that or we have a gremlin in the city.
Same with our power company. Yeah. It's just like that, Carrie. It's weird. Because,
all right.
you know,
It's ridiculous.
Before Darren
If I
got
get
there.
some power.
I've got a surface converter in my truck, my van, Carrie.
That's what happens when you live on the coast, Darren. Come a little bit more inland.
Well, we have two different power companies in our city. And it depends. It's a funny thing is you know who's got who when the power goes out, because which company they don't.
Yeah, he's there. He's
I
just
don't know
in
where
and out
Herbert is.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just all right.
I can kind of hear you, yeah. Cornfields, yeah. Cornfields, Iowa. I've heard about that.
Fine, Carrie.
You guys don't realize that this is bigger than just CPS, because I was watching a thing today, and they were talking about, you know, what is really going on, and if it comes down to it, there's probably going to be another war eventually if things don't change soon and drastic.
We came very close on Saturday to the start of a civil war. I'm convinced of that.
It's like I get that sense of like I want to take my family, my kids in the middle of somewhere where there's enough whatever for fallout and hidden and because I grew up in these woods.
Hey, you know where I'm supposed to go? Eagle Lake.
That's funny.
Right up there. Right up in Maine.
Yep.
I have friends up there.
Yep. That's a great place.
One of the people that started me and taught me
Oh yeah.
25 years ago was in Iowa. And I went out, we had a...
Ashley, did you allow your camp? You have to allow your stuff when you go to sign into the link, and Darren has to accept you. But you have to open it up in Google Chrome. It works better if you open this link up in Google Chrome.
I'm not having any trouble with the Firefox.
I got Google Chrome and Internet Explorer. Those are the only two I use.
Yeah, I use Firefox, and I'm not having any trouble. Chrome is for one business thing I do. But anyways, Carrie, they decided to have a get-together with CPS Watch people. The founder was in Missouri. Linda was in Iowa. There's somebody from Minnesota, me from Ohio. A whole bunch of us were just getting together. We got together in Ottumwa and at a picnic shelter there. And I stayed at Linda's house. So it's been a long time since I've been out that way. But what I did was I took Friday off of work. I took Friday, half a day off on Friday. Had my car packed, jumped in the car, and headed west. I swear, I have never seen such flat land in all my life as Iowa.
You've done some traveling.
Not as much as I'd like.
You still got time, Roz.
I don't know. I haven't heard from Linda in a long time. There is someone I can reach out to and see. But my guess is she's not doing it anymore if she's in it, because she was already a grandmother when my kids were in elementary school. So she would be really pushing like 90s. So, and I had a pastor one time from Ottumwa.
She has to invite Herbert. It's just Darren's having issues, and he's the only one that can add people.
Right.
But I don't even know how long Darren wanted us to do the show for, because
I'm going to have to cut off pretty quick because I have to do my paperwork from working today, and also due to the health issues I've been having lately, I have to have my feet off the floor.
Yeah. I gotta do a couple of things too, and put some stuff away, and yeah.
So, let me, since I can't type over in the boxes over there.
I can't either.
Let me say you can catch me on Facebook under Roz McAllister. You can catch me on TikTok. With under Roz McAllister. You can catch me either one of those two places. I'm not going to give my phone number on here. Just because who knows what will happen. It's everywhere. If you look for me, you'll find me.
Ashley, not to interrupt you, I just wanted to say, Ashley, if you don't get on tonight, we stream every night, of course, 8:30 to 10, except for Saturday and Sundays. Those are the 2 days that we're not here. So you're welcome to try again tomorrow to get on. We'd definitely love to have you and hear your story. That's for sure.
Because, even sometimes when we don't have the outcome we want, we can learn from the story. From what was done or what wasn't done that should have been done, we can learn. Like Carrie was saying, learning something new and a different method. Always, always. I mean, sometimes it'll just pop into your head, do it this way. See what you can do with this, you know. And I am one for looking up the caseworkers too. I look up their driving, I look up in the local courts and see if they've got too many speeding tickets when they've got your kids in the car. They're driving your kids to visits. You want to know what their driving record is. Okay? One caseworker, she was talking about, responsibility. And I looked at her and I said, "You mean like paying your mortgage?" She's in the middle of a foreclosure. So, um, let me say, that's my roommate from the other side of the house.
That's what that.
Let me say in closing, yeah, that was my phone going off. Let me say in closing, love your kids more than you hate your caseworker. Fight to win, but plan on losing so you get everything on the record. Okay?
Herbert,
That's always my closing.
Herbert, you're
Your
about your closings. I know you can type it in there and we can see it. And
yeah.
Carrie, what is your closings for us tonight too?
If
As
anybody
well
put in a closing over there.
as well as Darren, we'd like to hear your closing if you can.
Okay, nobody can. I guess that leaves you, Vinny.
Um, my closing for tonight is never give up hope, parents and families. They uh they crush your spirit, but they cannot take your heart.
That's right.
Keep fighting this fight because your kids are worth it.
Ah, I like Carrie's. And Herbert's too.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that.
I'm going to add to that, if you wouldn't let the FBI or the police in your house, why are you letting CPS in?
And don't let CPS in your home. Yep,
Right.
facts.
Out
Without
of
a
one
warrant. Yep.
order. Absolutely right. All right, y'all. Have a good evening.
You guys have a good evening. Stay safe out there. We'll see you tomorrow. For tonight, we are CPS Victims Hunting for Justice. Have a great night.
Chief CPS, thank you all for covering for me today. I really do appreciate that. Thank you all for joining us. I'm looking. Um, Hurry. Thank you very much for covering power. You know, this just goes to show you how it works as a team. And without ever doing that, that's very thankful that I got to. So thank you guys for handling that. I'm gonna get here. Do this for my friend. Like, um, and you know what, guys? Thank you too very much for watching this show. To chat each other, it gets actually for us. Everybody knows are watching, attention. So it really always everything. Um, all right, I'm the CPS Punisher. Can't play selected video clip. Son of a biscuit, man. You know what? I don't want to give up on this. We don't ever quit here. It's we don't quit. We move forward. We get what's ours, right? Push forward. And then sometimes we just stop when we know that we're looking like an idiot. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you very much for joining these guys. They did a great